Nothing contributes so much to tranquilize the mind as a steady purpose, a point which the soul may fix its intellectual eye. Hey, Mellow Rodney, thanks for clicking on my video. Well, I need to fix my intellectual eye on something, I guess. Well, let's see how this worked out. That's my fan. I had my fan on all night. It's nice and cool in here right now. So the fan, the purpose of the fan is to take the air from outside and bring it inside. So it's been going on all night. So now I close this window and try and keep the light out. And this is there's that material that I painted. I put some black paint on top of it to help keep the light out. And you can see that the light's coming through that material. So if I painted that black like I did that other thing, it would keep the light out quite well, which is what I should be doing. I should do that, but I'm not going to do it right now. But I wanted to do a video on a subject near and dear to my heart. That's an exaggeration, but it's something that is very important to the United States. And it's a situation with Iran. The Iranians have been killing Americans for quite some time. If I'm not mistaken, it was the Iranians that blew up the Marine barracks in Lebanon. I think that's accurate. You can go look it up. My steady purpose does not include doing all the research for these videos. Because what for? I'm not making any money on these videos. I need to spend my time doing something that I can actually make some money on. I like doing these videos, and I'll continue to do them because they give me I think the reason I do the videos, well, there are different reasons. But one reason that I do it is to interact with the world. From my studio in the high deserts of New Mexico, I can interact with the world. Right here, with this little flip camera. Right there are two flip cameras that are now dead, and there's another dead flip camera that's in this bag right here that the guy I got it from, a cool guy, a nice guy. I bought it off of eBay. And I bought it, and it didn't work, and I talked to him on the phone. He was a cool guy, and basically said, just keep the camera, you know, because he didn't want it, doesn't work, you know. So he sent me this new one, so I've got, I've had, I guess, this is the fourth flip camera I've had. I've made over 3,000, close to 3,000 videos. So I interact with the world. So what, Rodney? Well, you know, it's a big deal because when I was growing up, I mean, people didn't have telephones. A lot of people. Well, yeah, a lot of people didn't have telephones. Where I lived, see, when I can't even remember the first. I don't think we had a telephone until we moved to this one house. I don't think my parents had a telephone when they came to New Mexico. And so now we have YouTube. I've been on YouTube a long time. At one time I was the 75th most subscribed person on YouTube. Now I'm the 75th millionth person. But that's okay. But anyway, let's get back to what I want to talk about. I want to talk about Donald Trump and how what a he's like the guy is he just knows how to do things. Okay, so there was sanctions on the Iranians. They were putting the squeeze on him, but Barack Obama, in his genius way of doing things, it lifted the sanctions and all that. And oh, John Kerry goes over there and negotiates a shitty deal. Can you imagine John Kerry as your negotiator doing anything? Oh man, it was great. Just to watch Trump annihilate John Kerry. And Barack Obama, for that matter. So now Trump's in charge. So Barack Obama makes this deal with the Iranians, give them piles and piles of freaking money. Plane load of money, all kinds of stuff. For what? They make a bad deal to actually make a deal with people that are killing Americans? They killed a lot of Americans in Iraq. I think they were supplying a lot of the mines and all that crap. Not sure, but they're not America's friend. They're America's enemy. So what does Trump do? He ends the Iran nuclear deal. That's good. What do the Iranians need nuclear power for? They're sitting on an ocean of freaking oil. What do they need nuclear power for? Well, to build a bomb to attack Israel and attack the United States. The big Satan and the little Satan. So Trump decided, no, we're gonna end the deal. And now today they put sanctions back on Iran. Now the sanctions, people may think, there's some people out, the reason I'm doing this video is to sort of let you know about how it works, the sanctions. Because people think, oh, well, the United States is pushing everybody around in the world. They're pushing everybody around. No. The United States is saying, this is basically all it is. Look, Iranians, you people need to not have nuclear weapons because you're going to blow us up if you get nuclear weapons. Same thing that he did with North Korea, basically. So we don't want you to have nuclear weapons because we can't trust you to be, you're going to blow us up, so you can't have nuclear weapons. So what we're going to do is we're not going to do any business with you. That's basically all this is. We're not going to do business with you, Iran. We're not going to do business with you. So the Iranians, they would think to themselves, well, screw you. We don't want to do business with you anyway. But then there's this one little teeny tiny thing that Donald Trump is throwing in there. And not only are we not going to do business with you, that if any other country in the world does business with you, we're not going to do business with them. So see, Trump's not pushing anybody around. He's just saying, we're not going to do business with you, Iran. And if anybody else does business with you, we're not going to do business with them. And it gives people the choice. And I wonder what choice they're going to make. Well, Donald Trump knows. And yeah, I know too. So if some company is doing business with Iran and they're doing that much business with Iran, and they're doing this much business with the United States, now let's do a picture of it. Let's see what this is. Okay, let's say, for example, there's an American flag. Let's see here. Let's say, for the example, that the Iranians do that much business with you, with some country, like any country in the world, England, Australia, Pakistan, Brazil, whatever, they do this much business with the Iranians. And then they do that's one of the things about my videos is I don't really care about how long they take to make, because I'm not making any money and you don't have to watch. You can go somewhere else. And they do this much business with the United States. So if a company does that much business, and this is their total amount of business that they do, they do that much business with the United States from that point down, and this much business with Iran up, it's not too difficult to see who these countries do the most business with and who is the more important trading partner. Is the importance of trade for these companies, does their trading, their import and export business, does it, what's the effect on their economy? To not do business with Iran or not do business with the United States, what's going to hurt them the most? Well, what's going to hurt them the most is doing business with Iran, because if they do business with Iran, the United States is not going to do business with them. So all these companies are pulling out of Iran. They already pulled out. So now the Iranians are in a big squeeze. Now the Iranian rial, which is their form of currency, when the Shah of Iran was there, it was 70 rials to the dollar. Now it's, I don't know, 100,000 to 1 or whatever. I mean, some astronomical decrease in their currency. I don't know what the official thing is. We'll just go look it up. We'll look it up. I heard two numbers on that real thing, and they were both big numbers, but they were different numbers. So we'll just look it up and find out what the Iranian rial is to the US dollar. We'll just look it up. We'll just look it up. Iranian rial to the US dollar, RIAL, is 0.000024 to the dollar. So that looks like 240,000 to the dollar. Let's see if we can get the exact 200,000, 240,000. Is that right? Oh, this is ridiculous. Can't read that freaking chart. Let's see here. Here we go. The Iranian rial hits all-time low as citizens scramble for U.S. dollars. So the Iranians are scrambling to buy U.S. dollars. And we're the great Satan. We're the great Satan, but you love our money. The Iranian currency has been steadily losing its value against the dollar since the 1979 Islamic Revolution, where $1 brought 70 rials. That's accurate. That's what I reported. This week, the dollar is exchanged for up to 60,000 That other thing said 0.00024 or whatever. I think that's 240. I looked at it was either 240,000 or 24. I don't know what it is. But this one reporting is 60,000. So it went from 70 to 60,000. So that's quite a drop in the currency. There was a guy, when I was living in LA, there was a guy who had bought an apartment in some South American country, and he bought it with U.S. currency. He bought it, what he did is he bought it in the currency of the country, okay? And so it was X amount of, I don't know what they were. And then all of a sudden, the country kicked into hyperinflation. So he sent down to them like one payment for a month in dollars, and that paid off his entire apartment because he bought it in the local currency. So if you bought well, of course they would have confiscated it because that's the Islamic Revolution. But from 70 to 60,000, and you paid it off in U.S. dollars, you could pay off like a mansion for like $2 or something, or whatever. So it'd be bad to be in the real estate business whenever the currency goes into hyperinflation. So what's happening is that the United States of America is exercising its right to do business with who it chooses. Is it who or whom it chooses? So the United States has decided that it will no longer do business with the Iranians, as is the United States' right to do. And they also threw in a little thing there that if some other country does business with them, we're not going to do business with whoever does business with them. So Donald Trump is putting the heavy squeeze on the Iranians. This will probably bring down their government. They're already rioting in the streets because they're tired. They're sick and tired of being in a repressive government. Most of the people that live in that country weren't even alive in 1979. So now they're living under this theocracy where, you know, women can't, it's just, you know the story. If you don't, then you can't even open up a computer, so you're not watching this video. So Donald Trump is putting the heavy, heavy squeeze on them. It's like he's got a pair of pliers right here, and he puts their thumb in it like that and starts squeezing really hard. That would really hurt. He's putting the heavy squeeze on them. So they have a choice. They can either get rid of their nuclear ambitions, or they can have their own people overthrow them and take them out in the street and string them up. Because, you know, and if the Iranians decide that they're going to have the Republican Guard start killing their own people, I don't think Donald Trump is going to sit idly by while that happens. I don't think he's going to allow the Iranians to murder their way into keeping control. I don't think they would stand by. I don't think the United States would stand by for that. Just to go out and wholesale start killing people. I don't think that's going to happen. And the Iranians, the interesting thing about the Iranians is they're really incredibly smart people. You know, Iranians are not Arabs. This is not to infer anything. It's just to give you a little history lesson. Iranians are Caucasians. They were taken over by the Arabs. That's why they're Muslims. But a friend of mine Very nice guy. I know him. I met him down in Silver City. We were taking this ceramics class, and his father was an Iranian official, like an ambassador kind of a guy, to France. His father is responsible for bringing like railroads into Iran, and it was given the highest medal that the French give, you know, to foreigners or I guess to anybody that's not a French person, basically for doing that. And he told me that Iranians are not Muslims, the Iranians are Zoroastrians. So Iranians, you know, that was their thing. Zoroastrians. So they're getting ready to throw off the shackles of those mullahs. Trump is helping them out. He's putting the squeeze on them big time. And they think then the Iranians think, well, you know, we'll just close down the Gulf of Hormuz, and that way it'll stop all that flow, like 20% of the world's oil or something, damn thing like that. You know, you're not dealing with Barack Obama. You're dealing with Donald Trump. If they try to shut down the Gulf of Hormuz, Trump is going to wipe them out. They've got these little speedboats. They've got, I guess, hundreds or thousands of little speedboats. That's their defense. Armored speedboats. And the Gulf of Hormuz around the Gulf, it's a 30-mile, it's like a bottleneck. It's 30 miles wide. I think it's 30 miles wide. And on both sides of it, they have anti-aircraft guns, and they have surface ship missiles to attack ships. If the Iranians were to shoot a missile and destroy a ship in that strait, I think the United States would completely wipe them out. They would certainly wipe out all the installations around there. They would just wipe them out on that day. They just get obliterated. And then there'd be a little chat with the Iranians. You can either give up, or we're just going to come and just wipe you out. We're not playing games. Donald Trump is not playing games. These guys think they're dealing with Barack Obama. They're not. They're dealing with somebody who knows how to do the job. That's what Trump is doing. Trump is basically going to war with them without actually firing a shot. He's going to crush their economy. It's going to be totally decimated, their economy. So if they want to just lash out and say they're going to have a big war, which they're not going to do, because the mullahs are rich. Barack Obama sent them like $150 billion or some freaking thing. They're rich. Rich people don't want to die. So they'll go into exile somewhere and live in the lap of luxury, and the Iranians will get their country back. I'm Hiller Rodney. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye.